As you guys probably know, Ryan Garcia took on Gervonta Tank Davis in a fight last Saturday, and this fight was actually originally supposed to be a fighter showcase that I was going to make for Ryan Garcia before the fight, but unfortunately I just didn't get around to uploading it in time, kind of just got a little bit too busy. But that doesn't mean that I can't use this footage to talk about my overall thoughts on the actual fight itself. And there were some things in this fight that I took away. Like, first of all, Ryan Garcia is absolutely a top-level fighter. I don't care what people say. I don't care how you twist it. Ryan Garcia is absolutely a top-level fighter, and he took this loss like a champ, bro. You saw, like, in the post-fight press conference and in some interviews since, that he said, like, you know what, he's just going to learn from the loss. He's going to try to improve. He's saying the right things. I just hope that it doesn't discourage him, because with a lot of fighters, especially in boxing nowadays, whenever they take a loss, a lot of them will get very discouraged and they might not come back the same. But Ryan Garcia didn't take a whole lot of damage in this fight. Like, yes, he did get dropped, but it wasn't like a bad dropping. Like, he did get dropped, but he got back up and didn't appear to be on wobbly legs or anything. He didn't take a crazy amount of damage in this fight. Yes, body shots, but he will recover from that. I'm not really too concerned about his chin and stuff like that. So going forward, it's not that that's going to be my biggest concern. When it comes to the future of Ryan Garcia, I honestly just want to see him work on his overall defense, but it was more than just defense that was kind of bothering me about this fight, right? I mean, when you take a look at the first round, it was literally just, the only thing that really happened in the first round was Ryan Garcia jab. That was pretty much all that happened. Maybe like a little bit of Gervonta Davis's left hand, but that was pretty much all there was. I gave Ryan Garcia that first round. And yes, obviously that second round you give to Tank Davis 10-8 because of the knockdown. Everything else is pretty much irrelevant when you talk about that. But, you know, I think that Ryan Garcia was having his moments in that second round, though. Whenever Ryan was firing off combinations, specifically using his right hand, because Tank was expecting the left hook, right? He even said it coming into the fight that all Ryan had really that was dangerous was a left hook. And you could tell that that's how he prepared for Ryan. But Ryan was doing a really good job of catching Gervonta Tank Davis with this right hand, catching with the right hooks and the right strengths. And I wish that he went to it more. But the problem is sometimes when Ryan Garcia throws punches is he really leaves himself extremely defenseless. And what I mean by that is he'll drop his hands, he'll leave his chin up high in the air, and he'll just get caught like he did against Tank. And after that, he was extremely cautious. Didn't really want to let go with the right hand too much because he didn't want to get countered. Because he understood that Tank Davis's left hand was going to be the most dangerous weapon that Tank had to offer. But regardless, it was a great performance from Tank. Yes, Ryan definitely does show some promise. He definitely has the talent to become like a future world champion. Like, I do believe he has it in him. And he's only 24 years old, so he will get better from this experience. He will come back better. Honestly, I hope he can go back to training with Canelo, because that was his best bet. That's when you really saw him start to improve. And, you know, as for Tank Davis, I mean, who should he fight next? I mean, I think he should fight the winner of Vasily Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. That's another great fight in the lightweight division. The lightweight division right now is looking absolutely stacked, to be honest. I'm really loving it. But we're not really here to talk about the future opponents. Like I said, I kind of want to just talk about Ryan Garcia in particular in this video. Just because of the fact that Ryan does show a lot of promise, like I mentioned before, and Tank Davis is one of, if not the best fighters in the lightweight division. I don't think he's the best, but I do think he's definitely like number 2, 3, 4, somewhere in there. Ryan Garcia fought that guy and was having success. People are going to downplay the success of Ryan Garcia as if Ryan just wasn't doing anything at all. He didn't land anything. Well, that's not true. He was landing punches. And even though he was landing punches, Tank was also able to take the punches very well, right? Tank's chin did a very good job in this fight because Ryan Garcia did land with that left hook and it didn't drop him. I wish that Garcia also would have went to the body a bit more with that left hook, just to kind of mix up the target, but also with Ryan's left hook to the body so dangerous, man. I mean, he's dropped multiple opponents with a left hook to the body. Specifically Luke Campbell, if you guys remember that fight, he finished Luke Campbell with a body hook, and I think he could have done something similar to Tank Davis, because it doesn't matter how skilled you are if you get hit in the liver and it's enough to the point where you get taken out of the fight, because you see what happens when fighters get hit in the liver. They shut down. So like I mentioned earlier, for people to say that Ryan Garcia is a quitter because of the fact that he didn't get up from a liver shot, you've never been hit in the liver. It is one of the most painful things. You cannot breathe. You think you're going to vomit. You're almost in a state of panic too, at least temporarily. And you know, it's almost better that he got finished off to the liver than to the head, because at least then, like, he doesn't really take a whole lot of brain damage from getting knocked out cold. And there's not really a whole lot more you can really say on the fight. I mean, Gervonta Tank Davis was getting the better of him, especially in the middle rounds. But Ryan started to pick it up again in the 7th. And when he tried to exchange with Tank is when he got dropped by the body shot. So, I mean, it was kind of a lose-lose situation. If you just shell up, you're just going to end up losing a decision because you're not really offering much out there. And Tank's the kind of fighter who likes to download that data. He kind of is a slow starter until the mid-rounds. But if you don't give him much to download, then he's not really going to be able to go on these barrages. But there's going to be a lot of talk as well about the moles that were inside Ryan Garcia's camp from Tank Davis. And maybe Ryan had a soft body coming to the fight. Maybe he had like an abdomen injury. We don't exactly know the specifics. But what we do know here is that, Tank Davis, regardless of body injury or not, that shot was to the liver. Unless, like, Ryan already had, like, a rib injury in that area coming into the fight, which is very possible. You never know with fighters, because a lot of them do get injuries going to a fight, especially when you're in training camp and your body gets all sore. Like, for those of you sitting there watching at home, if you've ever, like, trained for consecutive days and you don't really take a whole lot of time to rest because you can't, right? Because you're trying to stay in tip-top shape. You know how sore you get from that. Now, imagine the sparring that these fighters have to do. Getting punched in the ribs all the time. Getting punched in the face all the time. It gets very, like, exhausting, and your body just starts to wear out after a bit. And that's where I think Ryan Garcia might have got hit something in sparring. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm not going to make excuses for him, because I do believe that Tank Davis would have won the fight regardless. But, it was a good fight. I'd like to see them go again in the future, but we gotta let Ryan Garcia not only recover a little bit, but also we gotta let him develop his skill a little bit. If he's able to work on that defense of his, if he's able to work on not keeping his chin up in the air in the exchanges, I do believe he's going to be an even dangerous fighter, an even more dangerous fighter. Everyone talks about Ryan Garcia's left hook. People don't talk about the right hook. Like I said earlier, he was landing that thing. Because of the fact that I think Gervonta was expecting the left hook, I don't think the right hook was really something he was too worried about from Ryan. So when Ryan was throwing it, he was landing. He landed some really good right hooks on Gervonta. And if he could have kept going to that man, I believe he would have had more success. But then again, in the finishing sequence, Ryan tried to counter Gervonta with the right hook. But it was also because of the fact that Ryan he didn't really fully commit to the punch. He was kind of like leaning away as he was going for it. It was a bit of an awkward punch. And even though Gervonta didn't get full power on that left hook to the body, it doesn't matter. If it's to the liver, it doesn't matter. You are done for. It's going to be extremely hard to come back from that. And I'm glad that we see now where Ryan Garcia is at. I'm glad that we see now where Tank Davis is at. Both guys have tremendous amounts of respect from me. And anybody who you see that doesn't give these fighters the respect that they deserve, I'm going to be 100% honest, guys. Those guys are not boxing fans. Now, I will show you the rest of this fight, but I've kind of run out of things to say at this point, and this whole thing I've just been going on a whim. So let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see next. If you guys want to click off the video now, I completely understand. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more. Peace!